All right, my logic here was correct. So I assumed I'll show you guys how these AFC housings work, because I've shown you these a million times, but there's the fuel screw right there, that little guy. That was all the way in. The spring that holds the diaphragm was also all the way in, meaning that there's no spring tension, meaning that any little bit of boost will push on this diaphragm, thus giving you more fuel. And assuming that the previous owner did that, there's no fuel plate in there. So I am going to go grab a fuel plate and throw one in it, and that should get rid of a ton of the smoke. Well, that will get rid of a ton of the smoke. So AFC is tuned perfectly as is. Like, at this point we're losing power by getting rid of it, some of it, so we left it where it is, and then we're going to throw a fuel plate in it. We'll lose a little bit more power, but it will take away that fueling that is just unnecessary up top. So as much as it does add power, it's for a street truck, it's not worth it. So this will also help getting a nicer air filter on here. We'll get rid of a lot of the smoke. Alright, so we're going to end the day off. I'm going to get this K&N filter cleaned. I don't recommend K&N on a diesel. I'm just going to go out on a limb, say this was probably some 17-year-old kid that owned this truck prior. Did great on the turbo. This is, you know, a pretty decent turbo. But the issue is, you know, not running. This kid just really wanted a ton of smoke, which is just unnecessary. Surprised that this truck was drivable at all how it is. So once that was the main complaint, is make it not smoke. And I didn't realize how badly it smoked, but it smokes. So fuel plate, AFC tuning, pre-boost screw adjustment, clean the air filter, and then this thing should be pretty good to hit the road. Definitely needs an entire front end, so this thing is not getting driven back by me. It's definitely going to get towed. All right, following day, I went home, I grabbed the old, this was a number, I think a 10 for towing, and we kind of shot it up like that. So it'll be nice down low, and then it'll take fuel away up top. Now the reason we're going to do that is because it seems like we're able to control it down below, but then up top it just chiefs. So throw this in here with 2 new screws, and we should have good power after that, without it being super smoky. So another thing to check out, see that guy right there? It was all the way down in this position here, so I just loosened it up, put it back in the middle where it belongs. That should also make it a little bit more drivable. So now we'll throw it back in with our freshly done fuel plate. I did put it in the all the way forward position, especially because this is a little bit bigger turbo than stock. It's still small, but this is right there. I guess it's an S300. Seems like a little turbo. This thing, when it lights, spools pretty damn quick. Alright, so I was recommended replace the crank sensor. Here is the old one right here. You can see, I mean, it's old, it's beat and whatnot, but never just replace parts, because that's not going to fix the problem when the wires look like this. So now I got to rewire the entire crank sensor. That is, that's really bad. So, oh, now I just need to remember where everything goes. I got to remember this one goes to that, this one goes to that. Yeah, I'll get this taken care of here in a minute. Throw the new crank sensor in and we should have alternator. I will say we are going to still use the new sensor, because you can see the tabs broken off right here, which means that we won't be able to hard mount. Let me show you guys. You guys see how there's a tab right there? So that'll be able to go back in, and then this won't need to get zip tied. So we repaired all that. We did the butt connectors on the 2, repaired the wires and shit, and then sealed it. So now we'll plug it in and see if it works. Crank sensor is installed. See it right down in there. Not touching the belt. It's all lined up in there. Everything is good. Fire it up, see if the crank sensor works. Look at that. Alright. Change the fuel filter. The fuel should not be coming out black, so that's what it pretty much was. Alright, we're gonna get it fired up and take it outside. Freaking fuel filter. I did prime it, but... Okay, no more leaks. Yeah, battery was kind of low from yesterday. Because it wasn't, the alternator wasn't charging, so... Yeah, it was. Alright, she runs, she starts. I don't know what that smell is. I'm gonna shut it off in the meantime. I have no idea what that smell is. Oh! Safe to say I found the smell. Needs an alternator. We're gonna wait on customer now. We're gonna see if we can... It's charging. But it was smoking. It's just about 13 volts right now. Alright, going through, checking this front end here. You guys will see this is one of the main culprits right here. So that's the first thing there. So just do the drag link, and then that'll replace this guy up here. And pitman arm seems alright. The box is tight, all that stuff's tight, but place the drag link. Alright, just went and got the alternator. We're gonna get that thing thrown on, and then the front steering will be here tomorrow. So the tires are iffy, but they'll get them home. Let's see. Yeah, iffy, but I just gotta get this alternator off and then put a radio in it. We're done for the day. Get all this wiring off. It's a shame. This thing still spins really good, but here's the new one. Alright, we're gonna see if she starts with the new alternator and see if she charges. Oh, that's way better. That's over 14 volts. Yeah. That's a little better. Alright, so we got everything taken care of. Come over here. We now have a radio that works. You guys will hear that. Not only that, but we ripped out a lot of the wiring that was, look at this. So we got a lot of the rigatry wiring out. Used the factory wires, regrounded it. We got everything set, taken care of, all good there. Both of these gauges work. Everything now works on the dash. So aside from throwing this back in, and this does have the axle disconnect, mechanical one, so I guess that's kind of cool from the factory, but they get rid of the vacuum and use this so that, because they're less problematic. But all that's done, so this thing could go over with a good detail, throw some wheels and tires on it, and we're going to do the suspension tomorrow. We're just going to replace pretty much from this side to this side. This will get all replaced, and then this bar up here is going to get replaced, because there's play here, there's play here, there's play there. This one's solid, but we're just going to, like I said, we're going to go through and do all of that, so this, it's just not safe now. Alright, we're going to pull it out. I don't know what's going on with Satan there. I think the radio is possessed. Oh, so if I turn it off, it gets possessed. Okay, so note to self, just don't turn the radio off. Definitely needs to adjust that transmission range. It is a little off. Why are we going backwards? Alright, that's where she's going to sit till tomorrow once we get the front end parts. That actually fits in here fairly nicely. Alright, another day. See if this thing fires. This thing starts very well. Alright, we got it out of its hole. This thing runs and drives fairly nicely, just needs the steering fixed, which we're gonna do today. And unfortunately, it pops itself in and out of gear because it's just not lined up on here. But besides that, like, fix the steering, we have a good truck here. So, probably the easiest front suspension to remove ever. I got it off, all the nuts, when this is probably why it failed. All the nuts. This one I didn't even hit and it fell out. This one's destroyed. This one took like 3 smacks and then that one took 1 smack. And it just, like, light hammer just, oh, it's out. So, this looks like it was replaced at some point, but when you don't install them properly, they wear out very, very prematurely. Which in this case, this one's loose, and that one's loose. Alright, she's done. We're going to take it, get the alignment checked. I'm going to take it home, park it at the house, and then we're going to take the Dakota, go get some other things done. Alright, so we got it moving. Here's the thing though. So I guess one of the sensors on the transmission was busted is what I was told. So there's no trans temp. And by doing that, the truck is never going to shift into overdrive. So no overdrive. And yeah, basically the trans light's on all the time. Now the thing does run really good. That's something that's gonna have to be addressed as well. That also means the speedometer's broke, which I was told was gonna happen. So we're just getting this thing home, driving it. It's done, it's ready to go. Steering is a lot better. Still not perfect, but anything that was gonna break has been replaced. So the ball joints were good. Might have a lot of slop in the steering box itself. Besides that, anything that was gonna physically break has been replaced. The tie rod ends were absolutely shot. They are cruising now. And it is a lot less smoky. Now it still smokes a little bit, you know, it can be tuned out more, but at the cost of performance, we do start losing some power if we tune out a little bit of the smoke. So it's a little bit, it's not unbearable. But yeah, so she drives good. Get her home, park, done. So I identify as a cop now because of my mustache. Also, I ran out of room and spots and shit. So this camper here, we're gonna make some money off of. The camper over on the other side, we're gonna have a massive bonfire with it. It's gonna be fucking great. And I didn't think my overhead was high enough, so I bought another spot. Another $124 a month. That brings me up to $550 a month in spots, because why not? So we got Little Red behind us. I got that black truck home. Everything's done and everything, and then the transmission started leaking. So it's after 5 now. I need to go through and call the customer, let him know what the deal is. But he's put, you know, the money into it. The front end's done. It starts, it drives, it does all that, but there's a transmission leak. So we'll have to go from there, see if we do have a follow-up on that. But for now, we're gonna take Little Red, since you guys seem to love this thing. Do it. Best sounding 12 valve.
Yeah, right there.
Aww. This thing sounds so good.
Let me see if I can do something in a second.
You spilled my drink. Nothing. You say you want to floor it? What are you looking at? Make the right here.
Give me your
Yeah, we do dumb shit every now and again.
You do dumb shit.
So, oh man. So it basically, it was here and then it was up here. It like jumped off the hitch before he grabbed a chalk. Yeah, couldn't have got any more luck. I saw it rolling. I'm like, no, Josh, grab it. Like this would have been enough.
I've had 3 of them in my hands, like 2 steps.
All right, here, you can film because you don't think the Dakota will
No,
get that out?
no, I don't think it will. I'm gonna watch it spin 2 wheels. Yeah. Now.
See, you have 4-wheel drive and you think you're invincible.
Bet you $100 to go get the coil and it'll pull it right out.
Probably would.
Let me try. Let me try.
No.
Let me try. I got a trick. All right.
It's almost like I was.
Are you right?
See, it got
Yeah, you were right.
Look how much farther I pulled it out.
Yeah, you got really far, didn't you? Yeah. Mr. Mustache Cop Boy. I bought that bridle. No.
We need to put some chalks in front of it.
All right, do it yourself. Back. Back up a little.
What?
Actually, put a wheel behind it and back up a little. Behind it. Behind the third one. My boy, so it can rock back. There you go. I'm gonna see if my ass can do anything.
Darren has made that shit.
Alright, here's what we got. What do you mean stop?
This was hit because I was standing with this.
Nah, don't do that. I need it to go up. I'm gonna back up. Here.
Alright.
What have we learned?
If you send anything hard enough, it's possible.
Yes. Also, let's not drop it down the hill again. I had it perfectly parked. Josh was like, I'm almost there.
It was 2 seconds from putting rocks
Dude,
behind
I shit
it.
you not. It was from here to where this hitch is at instantly. Shit you not. Hey man, we can't all be winners.
Why didn't this have chains? Oh,
Oh yeah. So that's the thing too.
It
I
does.
didn't want to hook them up.
oh.
Put it in the front, all the way. That goes in there. Because around here, we send trailers down the hill with people not behind them.
Josh, grab it.
Grab the tongue. Alright, we got it out. It's all chalked and shit. Also, if you guys see this trailer here, so that's not a leaf spring. That's welded directly to the frame. Fuck suspension. That one's welded directly to the frame. Yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do with it. It has no title, it has none of that shit, but I really don't know what we're gonna do. So, but still has a bunch of good tires. So don't ask me how I acquire all this stuff, all this junk. Can't wait to get a nice, see, I feel like if I get a nice truck eventually, I don't know if he'll agree, but if I get a nice truck, then everything around me will start being nice. No. Start getting nice. I'll start getting nicer and nicer things. So it'll happen, who knows. See you in the next video. Check Mud Flap down in the description. Go sign up on that. Save yourself some money. Appreciate you guys. Later.